Hello, ladies and gentlemen, of the R.C.W. Top 10! Today, we're going to be listing off the top 10 NXT champions, NXT rookies, that started their career with the NXT title. Just having number 10 is named King Panther, and he was being champion of NXT after having the title for the 7 days. He was having his eyes on the title for a long time, and it was very awesome. Hey, get out of there, Franklin. Don't even try me. Ugh. Coming in at number 9 is Columbia. He started off winning the NXT Championship on the date of September 7th. Now, while claiming to be a 2-time NXT champion, in all reality, he was a 4-day champion, winning it off of Flakuchu and Tiresome Pew in a triple threat. Now, while not much rise came in title-wise, in wins and significance, it was a little bit above number 10. Coming in at number 8 is Sam the Man. Now, this is very recent. He won the NXT title just 2 days ago. But ever since winning the NXT title, or because of winning the NXT title, he is the World Tag Team N1C, beat out Team DX in the Tag Team #1 contendership, although unable to capture it, and won a full server cell match with some of the best there are. Now, although wins don't count for everything, he still got the World Tag Team N1C, which is more than the two beneath him can say. Coming in at number 7, he won the title on the date of October 23rd and held it for 16 days. Quite an impressive reign, and was able to wreak havoc around R.C.W. whilst being champion. He was the second incarnation of R.C.W.'s Kane, and he was the Ultimate Gamer, coincidentally also having Ultimate in his name, just like the previous Kane. Anyway, while wreaking havoc and striking fear on his opponents with his intimidating pyro, intimidating red lights, and amazing intro done almost to perfection, it may not be the titles that counted in his dominance post-NXT title, it was rather the fear that he struck in his opponents. Coming in at number 6, now this happened during being in what his post-success is, but he had no titles prior. Starting his career with the NXT title, he was 1/4. Sorry, I think he was an addition to the original DX, should I remember it correctly. He is Gorsha. He started the NXT title and has the second longest reign at an estimated 62 days. That's what we're rounding it off to because we have no official ending to his reign. This was around when the NXT title ended being considered a real title and then was picked up after months and months later by King Panther, but Gorsha had a fairly popular in the spotlight career post-NXT championship. Coming in at number 5 is Jiggy MPS12. He had a very successful title-wise career and N1C-wise career and in the spotlight career. Now, while he held the NXT title for the longest time possible from February 6th to April 24th, 77 days, don't quote me on that, he then lost the NXT championship to an up-and-coming rookie, Lapam Boy, who was able to beat him and hold it for 7 days, but that's not relevant. He then, afterwards, actually during his reign, became the United States champion on March 11th, but would later defend it and lose it to Mater. He also won the R.C.W. Championship N1C for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view 2014, although departed from the group afterwards and never actually ended up fighting for the title, but regardless, he still won the N1C. Coming in at number 4 is NFL Nick is Cool. He won the R.C.W. N1C and was the only person in the NXT roster to start at the NXT roster and win the NXT title and ever win the R.C.W. N1C and compete for the championship. NFL competed at the Payback pay-per-view, well, maybe one of the most underrated matches against Kid Rock 4 for the R.C.W. title. Definitely hard to get. Coming in at number 3, so this line right here, the one just behind number 3, basically starts in the people that you'll probably know if you're current in RCW today. This is also more of the NXT Makes You Stardom era. whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, it is Maxer70 coming in at number 3. He won the NXT title off of Mam Honky, held it for 28 days. Very well considered one of the best NXT rookies of that particular time period, but then eventually had his title stripped, and then Mam would win the championship back. But Maxer would also go on to later continue this chapter of his rivalry with Mam and would try to face him for the Raw WWE Championship, which has not happened yet. But it very well could happen at the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view when Maxer will finally get his due as the Raw WWE N1C, getting justice about this, very well making it a triple threat between Create Jacob, Mam and Maxer. You won't want to miss it. Coming in at number 2 is Mam Hockey 2020. Now, at the very beginning of his career, there was nothing that seemed special about him, and I don't mean that offensively. There's a lot of people who started a lot of this, not seeming special, but this guy turned into something that truly was very good. He became a European champion, a Raw WWE champion, one of the members of a reincarnation of D-Generation X alongside Eddie Armour, and would contend for the N1C to the Tag Team Championship, and would hold the NXT Championship not once, but twice, for 7 days each respectively. It is Mam Hockey, former world champion, and a contender for the Raw WWE Championship at the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view coming up tomorrow. Coming in at number 1, obvious, but there's no denying it. This guy has quite a story to tell, and I will just try to say it as quick as I can. Started off with the NXT Championship, and only ever really held it once for 3 days, until he put it on the line and lost it in a triple threat, where Columbia was able to outlast a tiresome and Flakuchu. Flakuchu would never yet regain the championship or even contend in the rivalry King Panther versus Flakuchu that he had in NXT. Moved out of the NXT roster up to the main roster. Then he would start a trio or a faction, whatever you want to call it, with the Warriors, Y3, and Kendall. Became Team Romanchu, won the Tag Team Championship off of Agent and Ethan, Team EA, 2 very set King of the Ring winner and best Intercontinental Champion in history. Flakuchu would then later on that night take on Agent Cool, the best, in an Intercontinental Championship match and beat him, something that only one superstar before him had ever done, making him 27-2. Would suffer a defeating, crushing loss to Rabid Cool Tough Guy for the Intercontinental Championship at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Then later off, heading into the Survivor Series pay-per-view, would win the U.S. #1 contendership to fight Manus. He would give that off to other Warrior member Y3 and would put it all on line in it for a 6-man competition in the World Heavyweight Championship, where he would take the place of Y3, would trade out his N1C and win the World Heavyweight N1C at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, would become a Triple Crown champion as he won the World Heavyweight Championship off of Brooksy, and tomorrow will be defending against King Gunna. He is also a Cruiserweight champion who held it for a fairly long 21 days from November 7th to November 28th. Thank you, R.C.W. Universe. I hope you enjoyed this R.C.W. Top 10 featuring guest star Franklin Clinton. Come out from backstage. Oh, well, I guess he left. I guess he has the leaving. Anyway, thank you for checking out this RCW Top 10. Make sure you go back and check out all the other RCW Top 10s for you to complain about the order of the list and bitch to me about it. Also, you can check out weekly content on the RCW Network from Sunday through to Saturday. There's Top 10s every single weekend and 2 on pay-per-view weekends. Yes, that's right. There's a pay-per-view this weekend. We may or may not be doing a show on Christmas. If I can get to it early enough, I will try to do a show. So I can't guarantee a show for Christmas. And the NXT title defense will not be mandatory, but we'll get to it eventually. So do not fret and enjoy the RCW Network. And as always, this is Kids Rock 4 approving this goddamn message.